The tick.
Are you ready to get casual? Grab your favorite adult beverage or combustible plant and join us for our roundtable TTRPG discussion. Oh yeah, it's time for Casual Friday. And now, here are your hosts.
Don't call it a comeback. What's up? Spoonman is in the house. I'm Jim. That's Brad. That's Ryan down there. You missed the conversation right before we were hit play. But this is Casual Friday, where we, the Landlocked Warlocks, talk about tater pigs like Dungeons and Dragons and other things going on in the tater pig industry. And this week, surprisingly, there's a good amount of news. You figure it'd be pretty dry with Gen Con about to launch. Nobody wants to say things about they're doing. Everybody wants to save it for the big week. But we have some news to talk about. And later, of course, we're going to make a thing. But in the stuff portion of the show, first of all, Pathfinder is ending its relationship with the Archives of Nethys. The website will continue to exist, albeit in a non-official capacity, will rely on open license content. So they're basically just becoming a Creative Commons. Says it will impact the removal of much of the artwork and will not get up early copies of new books. But the telling part is right before that, it says this decision made based on the fact that the site never generated enough profit to pay Paizo royalties.
And
And
that was
at
always
first,
one of the selling points for Pathfinder fans. Like Pathfinder fans, at least everyone I encountered, loved Archives of Nethys and bragged about how it was so much better than D&D Beyond and all that sort of stuff.
yeah, especially when they were both just compendiums, head-to-head Archives of Nethys was much better from what I've heard. I've been to the website, but I don't peruse it often. And if you hear that and you think, well, it's a free website, how much could it possibly impact them to keep it running? There was a part in here where it said,
It essentially came down to the art licensing. Like Archives of Nethys is the D&D Beyond for Pathfinder, and it is dope. And I believe it will continue to be super useful to anyone playing Pathfinder 2e. But we know, and have talked about it earlier, Paizo's in a whole heap of financial trouble, due in no part to their own doings. It's something that's happened to them and been happening to them for 18 months now. So there's Archives of Nethys came and said, like, oh, Paizo said we didn't make enough money because we don't make money. So they're pulling their relationship. And then Paizo made a statement a couple days later and was like, well, we were still talking about it before Archives of Nethys made an announcement. But the hindrance on Paizo's part is they give Archives of Nethys access to all of their art, which is an expensive thing to make and is their own intellectual property that sets their, content apart from some fan-made or licensed content. And according to Paizo, they don't have the legal budget anymore to hunt down people misusing the art because it's very easy to screen grab off of Archives of Nethys, and there's no real way to mitigate that. So it's on Paizo's side, it sounds like it just comes down to that issue. So copyright infringement that they don't want to enforce it anymore. So they're just pulling that resource back from AON.
Yeah. And the financial struggle they've been having is because they've got, like, what was it? How many millions of dollars of product that are just tied up in
Diamond bankruptcy.
Yeah, because of the Diamond bankruptcy, the Diamond distributor problem.
And the banks won't let them release the product. I'm going to say it's Chase. Don't file me. Don't. I just retract that. Wait, go back. Edit that. I'm not going to say the bank's name. Some banks have sued Diamond for going bankrupt and claim their property as collateral, which means there's pallets and pallets of Paizo books that the bank is saying is worth money to them, which is doubtful. But that stops Paizo from getting it back, from selling it, from recouping the losses of having all this stuff hung up. So they've been surviving all of this, but they are shrinking and pulling back and staying scrappy, and this is part of that. And this was initially received very poorly by the community, because Archives of Nethys is definitely super useful, and is not going away. This is not pretty, but it'll be fine. Don't panic.
Yeah. I mean, Paizo clearly is managing despite the whole huge financial blow they took with the Diamond distributor bankruptcy. But I mean, we've been following Paizo's for the last several weeks. Like, it's been a topic on multiple shows talking about how Paizo has had to cut back in other areas too. So, yeah, it's disappointing because Pathfinder has been such a strong pillar of the D&D or RPG community, and to see them struggle for no real fault of their own, right? I mean, maybe they could have seen the handwriting on the wall, but I don't know. I mean, we did see Wizards of the Coast in their relationship with Penguin Random House, right? Maybe Wizards of the Coast was trying to avoid a situation just like this when they ended their distributorship through Penguin Random House, right? But yeah, so I don't know. It's got to be frustrating for the Paizo folks to have to lay people off and to cut back on their other the ways they connect with fans, really, right? The other issue they had was with, I forget what it's called. It was like their version of Adventurers League. They had to cut back on that stuff.
Yep.
So,
well, all I can say is look for Pathfinder 3 published by Darrington Press in 2028. It's going to happen. They will get swallowed up by the beast that is Darrington Press. Well, anyway, moving on. Speaking of large beasts in the TTRPG industry, WotC is still continuing to promote Arcana Unleashed and Deadfall that are coming out very soon. We got a couple articles to talk about that with today. Arcana Unleashed has 9 new factions, and each one has a background, and there's feats, and so they gave us the skinny on what those background feats are, and I just want to read like one sentence from each of these and tell you what the feat is. Agent of the Ninth Quill. Characters with this background are cunning agents of intrigue with a penchant for thievery. The feat is Arcane Infiltrator. You learn the Friends cantrip and can take the dodge action as a bonus action, number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Then the Bejeweled Conclave Spy. They use their talent for stagecraft, diplomacy, or politics to uncover secrets of the powerful, yada yada. You get Vicious Mockery and add 1d4 to Deception, Intimidation, and Persuasion checks. Adding 1d4 to all checks of a certain ability is a big thing in 5.5. I've seen a lot of feats. Half of these feats have that. Look at this art, though.
Hashtag blessed.
It's a Nothic there in the middle too. That's really cool.
And then Nothic is like, yeah, hashtag blessed. I've been chasing these 2-headed elk all day long. I finally caught one. The Cosmic Dawn experiment products of strange circumstances. They've been altered by forces beyond their understanding. You get transmuted anatomy through magical augmentation. You get increase your speed by 5 feet and advantage on saving throws to resist shape shifting against your will. That's the kind of thing that if you take this feat, your dungeon master is going to have to make a note to remember to put you up against enemies that have polymorph. Otherwise, you'll feel so stupid for taking this feat and then never getting to use it.
Cosmic Dawn sounds like a cult I don't want to be a part of, though.
You can also take a reaction to add 1d4 to your Constitution saving throws, a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Covenant of the Grave Recruit. You require a predilection for the ghastly and the morbid and a fascination for the boundaries between medicine and necromancy. The feat is Arcane Undertaker. You learn 1 cleric or wizard necromancy cantrip, add 1d4 to history and medicine checks, and once per long rest gain heroic inspiration when you take the help action to stabilize a creature with 0 HP. Crucible Storm Chaser. Look at that art. That's dope.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That art is dope.
So are all these factions lining up to the 9 schools of magic? Is that what we're doing here?
No, I thought so. I did some work in my notes, and it turns out no.
Oh,
Hmm.
it definitely
Almost.
gives that impression of the first few we're looking at.
It sure does.
The Crucible Storm Chaser. You find yourself drawn to hazardous magical phenomena. The feat is Arcane Overload. Tap your inner reserves. You learn the Firebolt cantrip, and once per long rest, when you deal damage with an invocation spell, you can add your proficiency bonus to 1 damage roll of that spell. So you take a feat to get +2 damage per day. Once. Horizon Weaver Initiate. This is the third sequel to the Horizon Forbidden West series. Horizon Weaver Initiate. That's a big spoiler. I shouldn't have said that. You are drawn to travel the planes, perhaps the barriers between worlds. The feat is Portal Jumper. Once per turn, you can spend 15 feet of movement to teleport 15 feet. Proficiency bonus per long rest, but you must be able to see your destination. Then the really useful part, you gain resistance to necrotic, psychic, or radiant damage. Having that as an origin feat from the jump, you kidding? If you know you're doing some undead stuff, getting resistance to necrotic at level 1, that's crazy.
Hey, gang, if you're going to Thay, pick that up.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Phantasmic Circus Trooper. That they may share the gossip they've overheard from their audience or help smuggle from the characters. The Phantasmic Circus is less interested in spycraft and subterfuge than most of the other factions. Entertainers, blah blah. Arcane Artist, permanently upgrade your character's storytelling skills with minor illusion. The feat descriptions are becoming more playful and verbose as we go along. Earlier it was just like, here's what you get, and now they're having a little fun with it. This single cantrip ensures you can always support your tall tales with the horrifying visage of a villainous lich, or replay that growls in the woods when you heard growls in the woods. You replay that growls in the woods you heard for the parties. That's not right.
There's some errors. There's some proofreading that didn't happen for this article. There's a couple stumbles.
It should be the growls. The growls would work. It would the growls in the woods you heard is still rough. That you heard is. I don't think that's in the right place. I don't think I believe that's called subject to verb agreement. I will write a sternly leaded order to the author of this article. When you cast an illusion spell, you grant one nearby ally heroic inspiration, and then Seer Apprentice. As apprentice to the Seers of Sea and Sky, you've learned to look upon the sky and their depths, finding omens. You learn Guidance, a deservedly beloved cantrip. Additionally, you can take a reaction to add 1d4 to your nearby ally's failed saving throw number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. I like that. Ward of the Sheltering Hands. God, how many more of these are there? You help people in need. The feat is Arcane Safeguard. Your time in the Sheltering Hands, you learn Resistance, can cast it as a bonus action. That I like a lot. With the way Resistance works now, because like you're a fighter, you're gonna go up, take down that fire elemental, cast it on yourself as a bonus action, still get your 2 attacks, and then you can stand there and take those hits from just a little bit of damage. I like that. I just lost my place. That's the last one. Also, when you take the help action to aid an ally with their ability check, they gain temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. That one's a little OP. That one gives you 2 useful things. Anyway, so gentlemen, thoughts?
I like this format of obviously I'm all about factions in your game, but this harkens back to the design they used in Ravnica, right? Where they had the different guilds as their factions in the game, and then you'd take a background associated with whatever guild you were affiliated with. Especially back then, it was still fairly early in the 5e life cycle, and those Ravnica backgrounds were pretty tasty. Definitely a little overpowered compared to other backgrounds, but they were supposed to be setting specific, right? Not that most people treated them that way. These seem a little more balanced than those Ravnica ones. But I like that design idea where you have a feat that's associated with your with the different factions or guilds in your campaign setting. I think it's really cool. I homebrewed that one time for a campaign setting where I had 2 different feats for each of the major cities in my campaign setting. So to kind of reflect, so it was giving your players feats for being affiliated with some faction or some location in your game world is a way to get your players to read the lore, right? Because they want to know what extra thing they can add if you're giving them, some cool feats to choose from. And in the process, they're going to kind of pick up through osmosis, oh, this city or this guild is about these things because those were the 2 feat options that I read when I was considering, making my character associated with that location or that faction.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think you're going to enjoy the next part too. To circle back a little bit, if you squint, the Schools of Magic kind of map to this. I wanted it to be better, and I was mad that I did all the work and that it wasn't lining up perfect. So that might have been the heat behind my reaction that you heard earlier. But I got to that that Storm Chaser one, and I was like, no, you know what? This is fine. This is cool. Okay. I like that they're doing thematic. Just that picture is dope. I like there's a few of them in here that are like, if you take the help action, which is undervalued, right? Which is rarely the most optimal choice in a combat situation. And is the sort of thing that D&D could use more of, more interplayer synergy. A few of these feats proc off of that. Hey, you help somebody do what they're doing, you get inspiration, or they get inspiration, or we're handing out temporary hit points. That's cool, and that's a thing I don't think I've seen before. I'm not always up and up on the UA stuff, but I like seeing that a lot. I like the art in this. I'm always a little hesitant to get excited about backgrounds because they rarely matter, but there's evidence that these might matter much more because they are interlinked with these factions, and it looks like they're doing more interesting faction stuff in at least Arcana Unleashed, and I'm hoping that interconnects with Deadfall. The factions in the Forgotten Realms in the 5e 2014 era were pretty well developed from the jump, and then they did very little with them. A little more if you were playing in Adventurers League, but even then, not so much. So Brad, what you were saying earlier, I would like to see a second batch of those level 4+ feats that you only gain access to through these. That would be very cool. But there is other benefits to gaining renown with these factions, and I don't know, but I think being from them originally might start you above 0 in that system.
Yeah, I actually years ago, because I was very inspired by the factions in 5th edition when it first launched, the Emerald Enclave and the Lord's Alliance and all the Harpers and all that sort of stuff. I was actually working on a product for a campaign setting where that's what we were kind of building it around, was that there were first level and higher level feats that mapped with the different factions in the campaign setting. Then my partner who I was working with on that project dropped out of the project, and then Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica came out and stole all the thunder, because all of the ideas that we had put into our factions in our setting, like Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica did all the things that we were working on, like the idea of like where you had like the charts for faction interaction, where you could take 2 factions and roll dice and get a bunch of plot hooks. So that whole thing I don't know. I still have it saved on a hard drive somewhere. But yeah, no, I love that idea, and I think that really should have been more a part of the game. Like the first few products for D&D, they utilize those 5 guilds, right? The Lords Alliance, Harpers, Emerald Enclave, Zentarum. There's one more. But yeah, I feel like the 5e product should have done more with that. And I've said before, I think Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica is a great example of how to use feats and backgrounds and factions in the games to really sell a campaign setting. And I would love to see more of that in other campaign settings. So I'm curious to see how they're doing this and how this will map to the adventure book when it comes out.
Mhm.
Stay tuned.
Emerald Enclave. Did we say that one already?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the
Emerald
fifth one.
Enclave, Lords Alliance, Zentarum, Harpers.
It was the light blue one with the gauntlet.
The Gauntlet. Yeah.
Or they
Not the Lords Alliance. I don't know. The Law and Order Justice Boys.
Yeah.
Help us out, chat.
I can't think of it. It's bugging me. I have to let it go. Speaking of letting things go, let's move on. The next thing we're going to talk about is they've just dropped a new... This isn't drops, right? This is separate? Yeah.
Yes, because
so
I
they-
am not a subscriber and I have access to this. This is not a drop.
So this is the play along pack for season 2 of their actual play show. 6 living spell stat blocks, the Evoker Archmage, Agent of Ninth Quill character background, Arcane Infiltrator origin feat, Idol of Good Fortunes, Ninth Quill faction information, Bastion, and Renown rewards. So I'm going to hit the claim now button. Let's see what we get.
Exciting. It's like an unboxing.
Digital unboxing. Yeah, view the content. Okay. Encounter ideas inspired by the ideas that series DM Jazz and Bill are prepared for this session. Okay, living spells, encounter for 6 level characters. Spoilers, I guess. Magical disturbances have caused unstable arcane anomalies to manifest across the region. Resonant magical energy has been spontaneously animating unstable spell components. All right. Characters, agents of the Ninth Quill faction. Evoker Archmage. Let's look at this. Medium or small human neutral, AC 16, HP 2014, 214. Evocation Sculptor. When the Archmage casts a spell that creates an area of effect, it can choose itself and to fire with the creatures you can see. Sculpting, okay, blah, blah.
Yeah, so this is basically, how you homebrew a monster. Like, there's already an Archmage stat block in the monster manual, and you want to make them an Archmage of the school of Evocation. So you take an ability from the Evocation Wizard subclass, and you slap it onto your Archmage stat block. Like, this is just teaching you how to homebrew your monsters.
So there's no spell slots here. It has a Fireball, Ice Storm, or Lightning Bolt on a recharge.
X2.
It's got some
2 of them.
at
This guy's got heat.
twice in any combination. Oh wow. Double fireballs. But then he's got a reaction 3 times per day, counter spell or shield. Okay.
So they mapped all the spells into the stat block, getting even further away from using spell slots with NPCs, which is actually better design. We saw them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tracking spell slots for bad guy sucks. And to be honest, I don't do it half the time. I know what I'm going to do there round 1, and if they're still there round 2, I know what they're going to do. I'm not going to bother to track their spell slots. This is better. Sorry,
you're going to pick the spell slot, or you're going to pick the spells that you're going to cast to create either a good combat encounter and or to tell a narrative of that NPC, right? You'll cast a concentration spell that they're going to maintain for the next 2 rounds before they die, because they only survive 3 rounds anyway at best, and then you're going to pick out the next 2 most powerful spells to hit them with, because you want to hit them hard with as much damage as possible at the beginning of the combat, and be like, oh no, this NPC's tough, and then whatever their second attack is, add some flavor, and then if they're still around in round 3, you cast something that makes them go out with a bang, right?
This arcane burst is crazy.
This guy's throwing heat. I mean, he's CR 15, 4 attacks. This is all you need. Plus 10, 27, X4. Wait. And then give me a recharge ability if he's a baddie, which this guy is. And then, like, I don't know. He throws out a lightning bolt and a fireball on the same turn. Your players are going to notice, and then they're going to be biting their nails when you roll that recharge die in front of the screen next round.
Yeah, and especially since it can make 4 arcane burst attacks and replace one with shatter. So I love that idea of parties on their wagon. They're going down the dark forest trail, and its range is 150 feet for this arcane burst. So it's like all of a sudden the barbarian gets pew 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 snipered 3 times, and then the wagon explodes, and the mage is on the other side of the trees. It's like pew, 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 boom. That's fun. I like that.
The other thing I would probably do is I would probably take away the recharge of this just to make it a little more tactical, and have this archmage with an apprentice. So as long as the archmage is still alive, the apprentice is the one who casts that second spell. So then there's a tactical decision: do we take out the archmage? Do we focus on him because he's the most powerful, or do we eliminate the apprentice first because that eliminates his ability to cast 2 spells at once?
Nice. I like it.
I think part of the reason they give him shatter is this fight. It's an encounter. It's not like an adventure. It's an encounter. It's happening in a warehouse. There are boxes. In some of the crates are spell components that got messed with the weave. We're still in a very undefined version of how magic works at all. 11 years into things, but there are living spells in some of these crates. So I imagine a well-placed shatter could unleash. I forget off the top of my head. I think there's a shatter in there. I think there's a chromatic orb. It's a little bit down. They give you a roll table for it. Flaming sphere, acid arrow, gust of wind, shatter, burning hands, chromatic orb.
Living shatter.
Let's see what living shatter is. CR1, immune to thunder and everything else. This prisoner is 1 inch. Magical strike. Spell mimicry. Each creature in 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point the living spell can see. 50 feet, thunder damage, half damage only. Why is it called spell mimicry?
Because it's mimicking the spell shatter, I guess.
That it is. It's a weird term. It's a weird term for what it does. Because like the flaming sphere can like also cast is a flaming sphere that can cast flaming sphere. It's a little
so meta.
Ouroboros, yeah. Also, Order of the Gauntlet. Is it just called Order of the Gauntlet? I think that's all it was.
I think it is.
Oh, Order of the Gauntlet.
I mean, we said those words already, but they're just so flavorless that
I mean, I have the book right there.
Oh,
and I have the whole internet in front of me.
Nope,
I'm not going to look it up.
I'm staying. Order of the Gauntlet.
That does sound. That sounds. I was thinking there was a G one.
Yeah,
the green guys. That's the
Emerald Enclave, though.
Emerald Enclave, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's Order of the Gauntlet, and they've got the blue and white logo with the gauntlet as their symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see their symbol. I just couldn't remember their name.
Okay, let's look at this encounter real quick. Wait. Once the living spells are destroyed, the magical resistance subsides. The characters can recover the idol of good fortune they came for. We have a stat block for that. Where's that?
We do.
I'm gonna go back up to the top.
It's up in there somewhere.
Magic items. Idol of good fortunes. This idol resembles an elephant sitting on its haunches, smiling regally behind its uplifted trunk, blemished and common. This item is made of tarnished bronze. Blah blah blah. You can cast the augury spell. It speaks the omen aloud in response. Order of the Gauntlet is the vigilant D&D 5e faction of paladins, clerics, and monks
Rosa.
united to
Coming through.
actively eradicate
Thank you.
evil. Yeah, because there was like the Lord's Alliance is not holy. It's just a military
Yeah,
treaty basically.
yeah.
It's
The
like we got cities, and that's how we like it.
Yeah.
Don't mess up our walls.
Order of the Gauntlet was affiliated with the god Helm, right?
Hmm.
If I remember
That
right,
makes
because I had a paladin, a player playing a paladin, and that was his battle cry was, "Raise hell, praise Helm."
You can't handle the beef. Additionally, while holding the idol, the rare version, you can take a magic action to touch a non-magical trade bar gemstone. It's transformed into coinage equivalent to its value. If you take a magic action, touch a 5-pound silver bar while holding the idol, the bar is transformed into 25 gold piece worth of coins. Wait, you could just, not even a certain number of times per day, you could just do that? Huh.
Yeah, if you have 5 pounds of silver, I mean, it's a little bit of a
Non-magical trade bar or gemstone.
Hmm.
Huh. And then very rare edition, while holding the idol, you can cast Globe of Invulnerability from it. Can't be used again during the next dawn. I don't know. I just see shenanigans that would make me angry with that. Shenanigans
you're
I
already-
get tired of dealing with.
you're level 10 by the time you're looking at that. So this is one of those upgrading magic items, which I really like as a concept. I don't love that like the description is this thing is made out of, and it changes because it's the same little Ganesh statue I've had the whole time, right? Like how is it? It went from
Mhm.
bronze to gold. I mean, I guess in a magical world that's fine, but like I don't know. You should have changed the material it's made out of. Like maybe it's smile broadens or something, but it's like, oh, this thing used to be bronze and now I'm level 10 and it's gold. That's cool. I wonder what happens if I smack a silver bar with it.
Yeah.
But this is a ninth quill. This is an arcane infiltrator, whatever those are. I think ninth quill. One of the factions like sends you here because like this guy has this thing and he can't be trusted with it. We deserve to have it, so we have to go steal it because it might fall into the wrong hands. So I like that like a morally gray quest giving faction of like, well, we're not the good guys, but like there are definitely worse guys out there. So you should sign up with us.
You give this to your party, the next thing you know is they're going to be doing some kind of hustle where they're out there trying to get bronze bars that they can then flip to silver bars that they can then flip to gold bars, and that's going to become the hustle of the campaign.
When I have to like pause and say, "Hey guys, do you want to play D&D or do you want to play like fantasy economic simulator?" Because I don't want to run fantasy economic simulator, so I'll play it if that's what you want to do. But like someone else is going to have to DM the ramifications of like, I don't know, you starting a business and hiring the villagers to go to the dungeon. Like I'll run that part when they go to the dungeon.
Yeah, I feel like if you're using Bastion rules and you give out this magic item, it's they're just going to be printing money. So at that point, it's like, okay, so if you leave this magic item at your Bastion, you guys can just have any mundane item out of the player's handbook you want.
Well,
And just do away with economy altogether in the campaign.
Yeah.
that's coming. That's in this whatever not drop.
So we get Agent of the Ninth Quill preview of the full background, the feat you get, Arcana and Sleight of Hand, Thief tools. We already saw this. Ninth Quill members' adaptability and diverse areas of expertise help them infiltrate other groups, often posing as new recruits or long absent members from other lands. One thing when they put out these campaign settings or adventures where they have all these backgrounds and factions that are directly opposed to each other, and they encourage players to choose different factions, they always make it harder on the DM. It's like these 5 people would not like each other. These 5 people would not willingly work together. And that's why you start off with the tavern and goblins run in and attack everybody, because then after they've all had combat together, they can pretend that they're friends now.
Yeah. Well, in some OSR products, when they introduce factions, they'll do like a faction tree. It kind of shows you like which factions get along in which ways. So it kind of gives the DM kind of that. All right, so my players picked these 3 factions. If we go with the whole enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing, then I can look at this faction tree and figure out which faction I should use as the bad guy, because it's the one faction that all 3 of these that my players picked don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And if you supply something like that with your adventure, that can actually make this process useful to the DM instead of a challenge for the DM to figure out.
That is the way. Okay. We're gonna have to. Oh no, we're all right on time.
Go down to renown. Boom.
Characters gain renown with the 9th quill by completing missions or contributing stolen magical lore items. If your campaign doesn't use renown, the DM decides if and when characters earn these perks. If your campaign doesn't use renown, ask your DM why. Why would you not let us have that fun thing, Dungeon Master? It's like if your campaign, it's like parents kids, you don't really need your parents' permission. All right, renown score 3. You and your companions receive free lodging at 9th quill safe houses. 5, you can buy common potions and spell scrolls. 10, if authorities are searching for you, the 9th quill dispatches numerous faction members who are magically disguised to look like you. That's kind of fun. This might allow you to evade capture for days or months at the DM's discretion. 15, the first time your renown score reaches 15, the 9th quill gives you an uncommon magic item. 20, you receive a magical decoder ring. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. That allows you to read written thieves' cant. If your renown score drops below 20, this decoder is confiscated. Oh no. 25 plus, the 9th quill can provide you with a believable but useless duplicate of a magic item. You show them. Creating a duplicate takes 1d4 days. That's fun. 30, faction members teach you how to magically shroud yourself. You have the non-detection spell. You cast it once. 40, you can buy uncommon rare potions. 50, the 9th quill gives you a very rare magic item that another faction desperately wants to recover. That's fun. Okay, this is cool. I like this.
Right. Yeah, those are actually kind of some useful adventure hooks that you can build out of those things, right? Or they're obviously you have shenanigans written all over them. Once you hand one of these to your players, they're gonna be like, "Oh, we could use this to fuck that up."
You know what other games do that D&D does not do is has a beat in session 0 where it's just like, okay, what kind of party are we? Like, do we all belong to the 9th quill? Mm-hmm. It's a very individualistic, all right, I'm going to go on D&D Beyond. I'm going to figure out the optimal way to build this character and what background is going to give me the best cantrip. And I'm already a rogue, so I don't need thieves' cant at 30 renown. I'm going to how about we all get together and decide what kind of story we're doing, and like, are we playing Ocean's 11 or are we playing Monty Python or are we playing Game of Thrones?
Yeah, well, and sometimes at session 0, players don't know that, but exactly how they're going to come together. But it is very helpful within the first few sessions for your players to establish an identity for themselves, right? I mean, I've told the story probably a half a dozen times, excuse me, like a half a dozen times where I prepped this whole campaign in the Mystara setting that was like full of political intrigue, and I had these old BX adventures lined up that I was cobbling together to create this political intrigue campaign, and then my players stole a ship and became pirates and went totally different direction on the map. But at least they declared an identity by, like, I think they had just gotten to like second level, and so like by second level they had declared that they were going to be pirates, and so that, I had to change the whole direction of that campaign, but I had something to go on. Like, they came together as a cohesive, we are now pirates. They also happen to be all like anthropomorphic animals. There were like three tabaxi, a Harengon, and what's the fish person? The Katha or whatever?
Kuatoa?
No. There's a player species. It's a fish.
Oh.
But yeah, so
Can't remember.
it's yeah, so it basically turned the campaign into Muppet Treasure Island. But it was fun. It was a blast.
Nice.
But it was because the players all unified together and decided, oh, this is how we are going to find ourselves as a party. And one way to inspire that is to put other, like, especially if you're playing low level campaigns, like first, second, third level, put other adventuring parties in your character or in the player character's way. So that have them run into these other parties who have like a name, like Mercenary Company, the White Oak Mercenary Company or whatever, and have these other adventuring parties have some sort of identity that they're known for, and you can kind of introduce your the players to these NPCs, and be like, hey, I want to be like them. What's our name? What is our shtick? What are we all about?
Give them a trolley problem early on. See how they react.
Yeah.
Give them give them a goblin who has information and won't give it to them. How do they get the information? From the goblin. Then you find out what kind of party they are.
Yeah. One of my favorite adventuring like NPC like counter adventuring parties is the Grim Bastards. And they're all a bunch of like mixed race NPCs that have just kind of embraced the fact that they're outcasts because of like the fact that they're all mixed race. So there's like a part elf, part orc. There's a part like there's a half ogre, and like they're these kind of ruffians who just embrace the fact that they're outcasts, which kind of makes them look like bad guys at first. And it's up to the players to determine if they want to like be friends with this mercenary company or not.
Nice. So moving on, in addition to Arcana Unleashed, there's a separate book, Deadfall, that's coming out, and we now know that Beetle and Grimm's. I talked about it, I think just a little bit last week. There was a teaser about some things that were in it, but now we know Beetle and Grimm's Platinum Edition is 500 Smackerinos, 500 clams, 500 simoleons. And it comes with all of this stuff, a bunch of painted miniatures, battle maps, poster map of Thay, 20 handouts, encounter cards, magic items, bonus adventures for levels 10 to 11 and level 12. That's pretty cool that they wrote original content. The Bastion player aid, a replica of Zaztam's sensor. Is it life size? What's up with that? Or is it like a mini? But here is the minis. Now these I'm pretty sure these are 3D renders and not actual minis.
Mm-hmm.
But if they look anything like this, these are all pretty cool.
Yeah, that the one in the front, right in the very front, that's supposed to be Zaztam. That looks like a newer version of a miniature that's been out for a while. I actually have my version of that miniature has yellow lightning instead of green lightning, and I think it's just called Red Wizard Lich. But looks like they jazzed it up a little bit to call it Zaztam. But yeah, some cool looking minis.
And then a map of Thay. I'd love to see the numbers, like how many $500 units do they sell, and then I'd like to know how many of those $500 units were used, right? Like I think if I bought a $500 set,
Mm-hmm.
I would also have to buy the $60 version to use at my friendly local neighborhood game shop, because inevitably I'm going to spill coffee on this thing. Like I could not entrust 7 other people with my I mean, whatever. I guess it's a class signifier that I'm worried about. It's $500, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
so to like roll that map out on the sticky game shop table, no way.
Mountain Dew and Cheeto dust.
Mm-mm.
The only way I could ever see myself paying $500 for one of these Beatles and Grimm sets is if I was so in love with the setting that came with that adventure. Like if I was so in love with Thay that I was like, I am going to run Thay as my main campaign setting for the next several years. I'm going to run 3 or 4 campaign settings in Thay because I love Thay so much, and they've finally given us a Thay adventure, right? That could be the only way I could see myself spending that kind of money on one of these box sets, is if I love the setting so much that it became my go-to setting, and I'd be able to use those miniatures and these maps over and over again and be making up my own adventures after running the one that came with the book, right?
Yeah, if you're a total Thay head. I
I mean, valid.
If you had a really awesome group who, you know, everyone is willing to pitch in $100 to get this. But I think we know who the real audience for this is. It's YouTubers. It's D&D tubers. That's the main audience for this, so people can show it on their channel. And I Ryan, to your question earlier about how much money these make, I've never seen numbers either, but I do remember once Matthew Lillard, who's one of the co-founders, he implied that Beadle and Grimm's was the significant portion of his income, that he was making more money from this than he was from his acting gigs. So and he didn't flat out say it. He sort of implied it, you know, that it was like Beadle and Grimm's was really good for him and his family, and he was going to do it for as long as he could. Talked about acting, you know, being so sporadic and hit or miss, but this was like consistent income. Anyway, that was a few
Scooby Stack
years ago,
royalties are not what they used to be. I mean, no hate, right? Like if you got this thing and you're running Thay all day, every day, like consider laminating it, I guess. I don't know. I'm a D&D YouTuber. I'm not spending $500 on this thing. I'm sorry. But like, yeah, if it was, I don't know, if it was Phandalin and I was going to run another 7 campaigns of it like every day, or I was like, maybe if I'm a paid DM and I'm running the same thing all the time in person, like I could see a market for it. But I bet a lot of these are collector's items. Like I'm buying this, I'm putting it on the shelf, I'm taking it out on the weekend when everyone is out of the house and looking at it and imagining the wonderful campaign I may run one day.
I can't imagine the panic of taking one of these very expensive maps to Staples to get it laminated. I had the map from Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I had the Carnival map laminated a few years ago to run Witchlight, and I was so panicked standing there watching him because I was like, if he messes this up, that's just gone. It's just gone. It's just messed up. You can't undo lamination. And I'm watching this guy, and he's like chatting with me as he's starting to feed the thing in. I'm like, dude, shut. Please focus. Anyway,
and that was just the $60 version.
That guy, I think I've told the story before. That guy actually recognized it was the map, and he was like, "Oh, can I play?" And I was like, "Huh, please just laminate the thing." Anyway. So moving on, speaking of fancy stuff that's a little confusing, Joe Manganiello has announced, you know, Joe Manganiello has a clothing company called Death Saves, which is very Ed Hardy coded. And they're doing a live play show at Gen Con. And there's not a whole lot of details about it, but this article is pretty funny. This is Jared Zambrano. He gets a little snarky here. Just imagine for a moment the possibilities of a world based on clothing, where your AC is measured in thread count, where you play as a cotton blend beefy tea cleric, or if you're feeling spicy, a pleather legging bard. Yes, we can all agree that's definitely not what Joe Manganiello is doing, but wasn't that pleasant? This is pretty funny. So.
I gotta quibble though. A beefy tea is not a cleric. That's like a fighter or a barb. Like that's not a cleric is wearing
Paladin.
Paladin, maybe, yeah, like Jimbro Paladin, not like the do-gooder Paladin. Like Clever's wearing like robes, is wearing silk, is wearing like fancy. I don't know. I don't have words for like ecumenical fashion. Those are religion and fashion are not my two most well studied topics. But linen, I don't know. But a beefy tee. This is a beefy tee. I think. Like maybe I don't even know what a beefy tee is. Maybe that's the problem.
I think the paladin is wearing a polo. Because it's got a collar.
Yes.
It's a little fancy because it's got a collar, but it's still got the short sleeves, plenty of room for movement. Like it's that nice mix of dressing up and also comfort. Because you know you're going to be sliding plate mail over that, and we know plate mail is going to chafe.
And the druid's wearing the like thrifted, secondhand, threadbare, you know, but
for sure, like cords.
Yeah. With some corduroys, yeah.
I just really like the idea of a paladin casting smite on his drives. Like that's totally my next character. Just like country club pally. Yes, I like it. I don't know where that's my new favorite thing.
Country club paladin.
All right, so I don't really have anything else to say about this. There's no information, but I'm curious. Maybe it'll be awesome.
So is it supposed to be what? I missed the point of this. What is Joe Manganiello doing?
Wait, what's
no? You got the point,
happening?
Brad. You got it. No, what he's doing an actual play at Gen Con, and in his clothing company apparently has a world. So like, this is some
so it's
death
like his
saves
campaign
art.
setting. So it's like the
Sleeping
campaign
Crown.
setting. Gotcha. Yeah. That has inspired his clothing line. That's kind of a. Yeah, I mean, it's like, what's Professor Dungeon Crafts? What's his Deathbringer? Right? He's got his own, D&D hack called Deathbringer, and it's got certain OSR vibes. Like, yeah, Joe Manganiello has these like heavy metal, it's kind of parallel to OSR vibes, right? It's like,
My guess would be that this is Joe's home campaign. And he's just bringing his world to the stage for the first time. He had his home campaign, and then he based a clothing line on it. And now it's sort of, we're meant to believe that it happened in reverse, but I think it happened the other way. Here's the only bit of lore we know about the Death Saves world. The sleeping crown rouses to an apostate. Eyes succumb to the beauty of the beast. And 13 moons once circled the dreaded master as the sun sets on the great empire. So Morkborg, pretty much.
It's like gods are dead and you're killing demons. Like I don't know. This could be cool. This could be cool. And I don't know if it's going beyond like he's running a game at Gen Con on a stage, but like he's got chops. He was like a hair's breadth away from getting us like better Dragonlance, a show. Like he's got backing. He's got WotC a handshake away. He's got the heart and the dollars. This might be the closest we get to Dark Sun. This might be a cool new setting akin to like Eberron or something. Maybe not, but there's a chance we're getting a new setting that is a different tonal shift than, I don't know, just another OP Miyazaki ripoff or
Go ahead, Brad.
We talked about before how the original 5e was supposed to be modular. Like they had this idea that feats were going to be optional, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that there was going to be like a stripped down version of 5e. There was going to be the more 3e like with a lot of skills, and then there was like a version of 5e that would combine both skills and feats, right? The idea that all this was going to be modular, and you could kind of tailor your D&D based on which rules you stacked on top of which rules, right? And if they ever go back to that idea, right, and they want to face for that OSR flavored, stripped down version of D&D, and WotC wants an official Like, back in the day, you had D&D basic, your D&D BX, basic expert, so forth, so on, and then you had advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and those are kind of like, kind of branching paths. If they did that, like if they actually wanted an OSR, like rules light version of 5th edition, right? You could slap, this kind of grim dark branding on it and have a face like Joe Manganiello, who makes it popular, right? That could be a cool marketing strategy for Wizards of the Coast to go back to that old model of like, hey, here's 2 different versions of D&D that you can choose, and they're both great.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should 6th edition. They should have basic and advanced. Like Teo Sabadia said, the D&D doesn't pass the Christmas morning test.
Right.
That you get the box, open it up, give Dad 20 minutes to look over the rules, and then he's expected to run it. And you just can't. You can't do that. You could do that with a lot of board games. You could do that with a lot of simpler role-playing games. But the Christmas morning edition is what they need, where it's like, use these sheets, fill in these things, and then go.
Yeah. I contend, I've said it more than once on the show, that the red box from 1983, that was the closest thing to passing the Christmas morning test, where you could you could open that box, read the little choose your own adventure, how to play, and then start running the game. Like that was basic D&D at its best, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, so look for that at Gen Con if you're a fan of Mr. Manganiello, or if you're a fan of clothing-based Dungeons & Dragons campaigns, then there's something for everybody, it sounds like. But moving on, so this is the part of the show we call the catch-up, where we catch up on what we're doing, and I still want to have time to make something, so let's be quick. Let me hear it. Let's go. Go.
Well, just sticking with the whole like metal badassery theme, that's what I'm doing tomorrow night. I'm going to a metal show. Going to go see Bongfoot live with a bunch of other cool metal bands. Local metal band Fox Noose is going to be there.
Man,
Sick.
I haven't been to a concert in 10 years, and I don't think I'd want to go to one. I
It's
used to love
just
concerts, but oof.
they're just local bands. It's at a local bar, dive bar setting. It's not going to get. I mean, it's going to get crazy, but it's only going to be like 24 people.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah,
That's different. Small show, totally different.
Maybe 50 people on a good night.
I got nothing. I went on vacation, so I did not play either Strahd or our burgeoning Storm King's Thunder adaptation this week. I was hanging out on Assateague Island with some wild horses and my wife and Chihuahua, and it was dope.
Nice. I ran Storm King's Thunder. I actually, it gets a lot of shit for being too sandboxy and whatever. I enjoyed it a lot. I really leaned into the Fire Giant storyline when I ran it. Are you running it or playing it?
I am playing it, but I played through it and read it afterwards. So it's a very interesting thing. I think it's actually, if you're the right kind of player, and that's probably someone who's run the game before, revisiting stuff can be very cool. I'm gonna have to like pull punches here and there, but this is going to be more homebrewed. And there are a lot of branching paths, so I'm not sure if the content I know very well is the stuff that we're going to experience. But it's cool to go through the same thing more than once, because the variation between experiences starts to really show itself. But the Fire Giant one we went through, and that's definitely the best one. We still talk about the Battle of Tribor. My brother-in-law ran a 10, 12-hour session. Like, we had 3 meals at his table while we played out that like level 5 scenario to kick off this campaign. And Storm King's Thunder suffers from what a lot of these modules suffer from. It's that you could have taken out like 2 or 3 levels in the middle and it would have been better. And I think Storm King really fits that mold. But so does Strahd. Like most of them do.
When I ran it, we started with Lost Mine of Phandelver, and because Lost Mine of Phandelver concerns a forge in the mine, and then in Storm King's Thunder, the Fire Giant stuff is related to a large forge as well. So that's how I tie them together. And I kind of ignored the political stuff with the giants because it didn't seem very interesting, and just focused on what was going on with the fire giants. And we played at level 1, 2. I think they were about 9, 10 when they fought the final baddie, and it was fun. Even though, yeah, Storm King's Thunder gets a lot of crap for having like too much random stuff, but you know, you just focus on it. Also, Matty P has a really good video where he talks about how to run Storm King's Thunder, and he says there's so many different things. He did a kind of very Daggerhardy thing where he's like, he just wrote down different options. Players, it's like, do you want to do a heist? Do you want to do a rescue mission? Do you want to do this or that? And then he did it kind of like the 3 quests, take away 1, choose 2, take away 1, whatever that's called. But he just gave them cards of different adventures they could go on around Faerun and let them pick the genre of stuff they wanted to do. And then he just kind of, it's a pretty good video. I said Matty P. His name's Matthew. Real name's Matthew Perkins.
But
This was a video
shout out
from
to
2 years ago.
Matty P. Good people. Maybe my favorite person in Australia right now. And that's everyone else here in New Zealand, and I know the difference, unlike most Americans. Matty P's a good guy.
But I mean, that's exactly how you run any of these pre-written adventures. You don't try to run every chapter. You pick and choose the parts you like, and you take it in the direction that your players want. And you know, don't try to make every chapter a part of your campaign. Just, you know, pick it apart, use it for inspiration, use the parts you like, discard the rest. That's how you actually run a pre-written D&D module or adventure book.
Indeed. So moving on, so we still have time to make stuff. Here's your moment of zen. It's the useless D&D accessories you can buy. A sword dice holder that looks super cheap. This one though, the dice shooting crossbow, and I know as soon as you see this picture, you're like, but how? Okay, don't worry, I got you covered. So on the Amazon page, here's the video of.
Oh gosh.
Oh, whoops, it's too big.
This is like project number 3 if I ever buy a 3D printer.
So I need to go back a little bit more. So they're loading something in.
See, I like this because they never really talk about reloading. That's a problem. I have 8 crossbows, DM. Cool. You know they're difficult to like set up, right? Nope. Pew 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 pew. Bonus action surge. Pew 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 pew. All right. You know what? It's not a spell. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, this is taking quite a while.
Boo! Show me the catapults. There's a catapult. There's a trebuchet. Don't show me the crossbow.
And then you drop the die right in there. Yep, there you go. You get it. Okay. Dice hammer. We've seen one of these before. And then the dice catapult, which...
Heck yeah.
It's pretty cool. I might buy this for my kid. I think he would very much appreciate.
This was the one where I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, this deserves to be on the show. I don't know about this article. Oh, wait, no, there's a catapult. Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. Incredible. I'm here for it. And they give you like a target. They give you like a golf backdrop to drive your catapult dice into.
Well, that's practical, right? So like the crossbow, you're going to shoot your dice across the room, but like this, like it's going to hit that soft backdrop and land in your dice tray, maybe.
So what they should do is there should be one piece where you flick the catapult, and if you flick it right, it lands in the top of a dice tower. You have and then it goes back to the bottom, and then there's a tray that connects the catapult and the dice tower. So it's got like a wide mouth, like a funnel kind of dice tower top, and you then flick your little D20 up in there, and clink, clink, clink comes right back down.
This is like, I think it takes 2 hours, maybe. It might be 10. It might be 2 minutes. But make a deck save, and then you shoot a D20 at somebody. It's coming. Like, I would do that very quickly. This is why I don't have these toys. You could not trust me with them. Yeah, I would lose a lot of D20s in the process too.
Yeah, we drink while we play, so that's definitely dangerous for my group.
Yeah, you need eye protection with these.
And and then that's
It's
it.
a lot of work for a failed roll.
All right, you put it on your goggles. Are you guys doing a steampunk campaign? No, we just have a catapult dice tray.
Pretty cool. All right, so now we can finally move on to the portion of the show that I really like. All this stuff happened before. I hated all that. That was awful. Now we're
We
finally
just do that
here
for
to-
you guys. We don't
just do it,
actually
yeah.
like the news. It's just
know.
you want to hear it, and you rather get it from us than read stuff. So here we are.
We just do it for the clicks, baby. We're just here for the clicks. Okay, so now we're gonna make something, and I wanted to use a random sentence generator because I think it's much more challenging than just a random word generator.
A random sentence generator. All right.
So let me hit this button a few times so you can kind of get an idea of what we're working with here. You'll see the Rainbow Bridge after it rains cats and dogs.
Brad's
With the-
campaign would like that.
With the high wind warning, that's not a full sentence. Toddlers feeding raccoons surprised even the seasoned park ranger.
Okay, wait.
While on the- While on the first date, he accidentally hit his head on the beam. Kevin embraced his ability to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And then I'll stop because it sounded like Ryan had an idea for a second.
which is the raccoon? I don't know. There's a Seattle has a raccoon named Jimothy that has short spine syndrome running around. Has anyone seen Internet Darling the raccoon?
Yep.
Hey guys, I can't go outside for the last couple days because the world's on fire. So my internet consumption's gone up. So Jimothy's brought me a lot of joy in these sad times where it's like mortar outside my window. So yeah, I'm writing down Jimothy as the official note taker. Jimothy the raccoon. Whatever else happens, he's part of it.
Okay.
I had an adventure that started off with a bunch of kids talking about their strange friend that they would meet at the bridge, and like the parents in town thought it was like some sort of like imaginary friend kind of thing, but it turned out to be like there was a group of goblins that were pretending to be fairies, and they were like entertaining the kids as a way for the bugbear to sneak into town and steal stuff.
I love that because children NPCs are like a secret weapon because 90% of the time the players aren't going to murder hobo them or threaten to murder hobo them and steamroll them, but also they are instantly an unreliable narrator, right? A lot of the times you say things through a NPC voice and they're either like, this guy's lying because he's the secret BBEG of the whole campaign, or this is the dungeon master telling me exactly what to do. But when it's a kid and they're like, yeah, there's some weird dude under the bridge that gives me candy, you're like, all right, I don't know what's going on, but I clearly need to intervene and investigate what's happening here immediately. Also, I will protect these children to their till death do us part. Let's go.
But yeah,
Okay, so-
but the way I played it out is like both the kids and the goblins were not in danger or bad. Like the goblins were genuinely having fun playing games with the kids, but the bugbear was the villain, and he was using the goblins as a distraction and an explanation for why stuff kept going missing, because the bugbear would steal stuff from the town, and the kids would be like, oh well, it was I forget the name I made up for their imaginary friend,
Jimothy, the raccoon.
There you go. So the goblins were feeding the kids misinformation to explain away what the bugbear was doing. Was the plot of a little first level adventure that I would run at the game store.
Okay, so I'm gonna start clicking here. But so what we have so far is Jimothy the raccoon lives under a bridge and has been interacting with children in this small village. And maybe the adults don't believe it, or the adults don't know what's going on. The kids all think it's perfectly fine. So here's our first random sentence. When I was little, I had a car door slammed shut on my hand, and I still remember it quite vividly.
So it's a wagon. We have to D&D-ify this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a tailgate. Is it called a tailgate when it's on a wagon?
Or we could take a spin on the, I used to be an adventurer until I took an arrow to my knee. Like I used to be an adventurer until the wagon ran over my foot.
Yeah, this is like Widow's Bay. You guys aren't watching that though. Wagon wheel took her finger. You guys haven't seen Widow's Bay yet, have you?
No, it's on the list.
God,
It's on the
so
list.
good.
Everyone's
Bump it up. Man.
everyone's
Bump it up to
freaking
the
out
top.
about.
It's so good. So good. I've watched it twice already. I mean, you can watch the whole season in about 5 hours, so it's not that big of a commitment. But
It's Apple. See, I cycle through. We talk about this all the time. I cycle through different providers to save my brain and wallet.
Mhm.
So right now we're in a prime season.
Prime has American. Rebooted American Gladiators.
Ooh.
It's on Prime.
Oh wow.
Hey everybody! Society peaked in the late '80s, early '90s, where it was X-Men and then the Gladiators and then WWF. If you were a 9 to 12-year-old boy and you had sugar cereal and that block, I think it was on Fox. Sorry,
Yeah.
but like, yeah,
Yeah.
you never know. You don't know it's the good old days until they're past.
I think The Matrix had it right, and 1999 was about the peak of human civilization.
Yeah,
Fair.
Because that's the year they had it was in The Matrix, when the year that they convinced all us was, because that's when we hit the top right before starting to go down. Anyway, so one of the kids got their hand injured on a wagon wheel.
And Timothy saved them.
Well, let's let me hit the button again.
Injured.
Plans for this weekend
Hand
include turning wine into water. Oh yeah. Okay, so Jimothy is our messianic figure.
Oh,
So
it's getting better.
This little girl got her hand run over by a wagon, and then she ran away, came back, and her hand was fine. And they asked her, and she said, "Oh, Jimothy fixed it. The raccoon who lives under the bridge, or maybe a cave. Maybe it's D&D. It's got to be a dungeon."
Well, we have bridge technology. Where's the wagon? The wagon was going over the bridge. And yeah, she's got like a poultice of just like rotten banana peels, right? Just like garbage on her hand. And she comes home. And it's like, what happened? Oh, my hand, I got run over, my hand was broken, and Jimothy fixed it up. And then like take all the garbage off her hand and it's perfectly fine. So they don't believe her. But there's, some sort of magical fake creature that can cast, I don't know, cure wounds and greater restoration down onto the bridge.
Okay.
Hit me.
Toddlers feeding raccoons. Surprised.
Oh.
We already had this sentence.
Yep.
So it's a finite amount of stuff.
He had concluded that pigs must be able to fly in hog heaven. So the town, there's a bunch of pig farms.
And a catapult.
And a catapult. And once a year, during Catapult Fest, they launch pigs.
Oh gosh.
They launch the oldest and most infirm pigs, like Punkin Chunkin. You guys know about Punkin Chunkin?
Oh god.
No, but I can put it together through context clues.
Yeah, that may be just be a Colorado thing, but we have Punkin Chunkin every year. People build these giant catapults, and you can guess the rest.
Look, we've learned that if you catapult something into like hempen sail material, it's fine. It'll just roll down. I mean, I'm not sure the pig's into it, but like
Well, maybe the contest is maybe they don't launch real pigs because we don't want to like get in trouble with PETA. But maybe that's the contest, right? Is who can build the most aerodynamic paper mache pig? Like that's the
it's
festival.
like Red Bull.
Yeah,
It's like a Red Bull thing. I like
Yeah.
it.
Okay, I was going to say, but this could be before. I like that. So, but it was based on an ancient tradition where there was some monster who lived out there, and they actually did catapult real pigs. But then over the centuries, it's transformed into a mostly customary. Well, it's not the word I'm looking for. It's just to honor the past. They now make paper mache pigs and catapult them and see who can launch the furthest.
Yeah,
And
I
it-
like that. Maybe there was some like greater dire wolf that lived in the woods, and they'd keep the monster at bay by launching pigs into the woods for the monster to eat, so they wouldn't come into town and steal their sheep or whatever.
But now they're not doing that. So here comes the monster, right? Like we forgot why we were hucking these pigs in the first place. It became a party, and then we're like, man, we're going through a lot of pigs. Let's maybe make some paper mache pigs, and like maybe it'll be a little more family friendly if we're not chunking these pigs into the abyss here. So maybe there was we were making like piatas, right? Like we were still hucking pigs full of offerings to the bugbear who lives in the ravine down there. But now we're not, and now the monster's hungry and pissed.
And they don't call it a catapult.
Well, and maybe the
Pigapult? Is that a thing?
Pigapult or porkapult, either one would work.
Porkapult. There we got there.
So it's funny when the party strolls into town and there's like a row of these, and they're like, "What's up with the catapults?" They're like, "Catapult? No, my friend, those are porkapults."
That's great.
And then doesn't say why.
Well, yeah. Just like the offense. What sort of monster would huck a cat? Like just the indignation at the word catapult.
We're not savages, sir.
That's great. And so maybe the instead of like a bugbear or a direwolf, maybe the monster is some sort of forest spirit that gets awakened whenever the forest is not being taken care of, right? So their ancestors launched these pigs into the forest to feed this evil spirit. It's like, I don't know, ghastly wolf or whatever. And the reason they stopped doing it is because they learned their lesson and they started, taking care of the forest. Maybe there's some new threat to the forest that the new generation has created, and now the forest spirit has awakened and returned to punish them.
And Jimothy is the only one who knows how to defeat the forest spirit.
Right.
But only the kids believe Jimothy's real.
I think Jimothy is an actual raccoon that was awakened by the repeated casting of the awakened spell by a druid long ago that was the one who figured out this problem the first time around. So Jimothy is kind of the druid's self-created apprentice. I don't know if you guys still do this, but back in like first and second edition, if you cast the same spell every day for a year, it would become permanent. So it's the same spell on the same target. So like the idea of like casting the awaken spell every day on the same raccoon to make the raccoon permanently an intelligent creature.
So he's a messenger. Jimothy's not the Messiah. He's just a prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you wanted to go like Monster of the Week with it, then it's like there's an evil entity in the forest that has been reawakened, and it's no longer satisfied with paper mache pigs. It wants real pigs. And the wise spirit Jimothy, there's a wise spirit in the woods who knows how to defeat the evil spirit, but he's only whispered.
And all the kids in town are like, we need to start putting candy back in these piñatas. And the townsfolk are just like, clearly these children just want candy. Like,
or what if... so what if there's the players get to town? What if the girl who got her hand hurt, what if that was decades ago? And so players, the PCs, they need to find Jimothy. Nobody believes he exists. You have to find the woman with the mangled hand because she can tell you where Jimothy is. And now she's, I don't know, it's 5 years later, 20 years later, whatever. And the PCs have to investigate to find the woman who has the like strange messed up hand from the wagon.
Yeah, so that gives them like 2 plot points to like they have to find the old woman and then they have to find Jimothy and then they can figure out the whole plot. And so maybe the real villain is a human, right? Like that's always a good trope. The real villain is whoever is messing up the forest. Maybe there's a new lumber company that's come to town and has been mowing down trees.
They're clear cutting to make more pasture land for the hogs because they're no longer controlling the population and like Boss Hog is doing super well for himself now that he's not annually offering his pigs as tribute to the sacred spirit of the forest.
What's
carnivore.
And
What's
the pigs as tribute was only a temporary fix that just fed the monster. It's the actual, like, you have to, like, do whatever ritual spell or stop whoever's abusing the forest to get the forest spirits to calm down so that the monster will go away.
What's the D&D equivalent of a razorback hog? Like a boulette?
Could be boulette. There wasn't in Storm King's Thunder. Wasn't there like some sort of
there's like a thunderboar.
Thunderboar? Yeah.
What's his name? It's the storm god's like whatever incarnation or something. There's a thunderboar. It's pretty cool. I just really like setting up the moment of like the head fake red herring that like the players are going to go defeat Jimothy because they think he's the evil guy, and then round one of combat they're just getting pelted by rocks from children up on the bridge above them. Like, no, save Jimothy.
No, that's great. I love that scene. That'd be fantastic. No, the monster though, whatever the forest spirit summons as its avatar, the monster needs to be something that would eat pigs, right? It wouldn't be like another pig, right?
Oh, it's like a Wendigo pig. It's like a carnivorous, cannibalistic pig.
It could be something that eat pigs, or it could be like a pignomicon, like some kind of creature that requires more pigs. Every pig catapulted got added to the.
Oh gosh!
Pigs for the pig god. Pigs for the pig god. Pigs for the pig god.
Or the other way we could go with it, if we don't want to do the evil pignomicon, is the person who's out in the forest is who wants all the pigs is Jimmy Dean from the Sausage Company. And maybe
he's just trying to drive up demand, baby. Because the bad guy's always capitalism, right? Like, it's gotta be
exactly
reverse overconsumption.
So what if? Oh, here we go. What if the forest monster is a troll, right? And we already have the dire troll stat block, which is like a troll within troll within troll. It's like a multi-headed troll, right? So what if it's this avatar of the forest spirit is a troll that has eaten so many pigs that it's like, it's like a pig troll, so it's got one like human kind of head that was its original troll head, and then it's got all these like pig heads that have grown out of it as it's continually regenerated itself after eating so much pork.
And instead of being fire averse, fire breaking its regeneration, maybe it's something like grease or oil.
Like the cold grease pig thing.
Well, no, okay. It'd have to be what would be the opposite? Bacon generates grease, so what would be the opposite of bacon?
The bad guy's secret weakness is high cholesterol. Is that where we are? Is that where we've ended up?
Maybe if you throw herbs, and leafy greens at it, if it just eats bacon, it's not going to like leafy greens. And that's Jimothy's secret. Eventually tells you you have to find 12 ounces of arugula and mush it down into a paste, dip your arrows into it, and then shoot him with your arugula.
It's a vegetable.
Arugula. BBG's a werebore. Oh, Baker's Doesn't. That was a messed up story. Baker's Doesn't is a messed up little adventure.
Oh, yeah?
That's the one where, party goes and they find there's a kid is missing, and there's a fae person involved, and you find out that the kid's not missing. He was sold. It's not very... It's whimsical and dark as shit.
It's grim in the classical sense. It's
yeah.
Is it Gold Dragon trying to learn how to make cinnamon bread or something? And then also Hansel and Gretel vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of the lower level ones, so you don't fight the dragon, but it was like you had to convince the dragon of something, or it was some dragon ingredient, and the fate. It wasn't a hag, but it was hag adjacent,
Hag coded.
hag coded. Yeah. Well, I don't know if we've concluded our little one shot that we were writing, or one shot, or stop along the way.
If someone found my notes from any of these episodes, they'd think I was insane. But this one in particular, guys, like I might need to like burn this before it goes into the archive because there's some weird stuff I wrote down today.
I think there's the bones here of a pretty good little adventure. I think with a little more workshopping, a little more playing around with it, you could extract something out of this nonsense that we just spewed out.
I think it works.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of pig on the magic wheel? That's what we needed to find out.
Yeah.
Like
Once you
Chinese
crack
five spice.
then arugula arrows versus
Arugula arrows.
the,
You know what? No,
bacon
I'm writing it
troll.
down. Arugula being the key from Jimothy is
Arugula arrows.
we're not going to do better than that.
And
Versus
vinegar.
base control.
The vinegar has to be in the recipe because, like,
Oh.
especially here in North Carolina, like vinegar.
I was about to say that's Carolina. To get your yellow stuff out of here, man. I'm a St.
Yeah.
Louis boy.
The vinegar-based barbecue is the thing here.
No, I not.
Carolina
I like
gold.
that Texas barbecue. That's my
Yeah,
style.
Texas, St. Louis. Give me the red stuff. Let's go.
Sweet and hot. That's Texas style. Also kind of Memphis style.
Yeah, I like the Memphis style, like a little more on the sweeter side, not so much heat.
My brother lived in
flavorful.
Kansas City for a number of years, and I've visited him there, and they're very particular about their barbecue. They're very proud, the proudest city about barbecue, even though like a dozen cities in America claim to be the barbecue capital, but Kansas City, they really, really believe it.
Yeah, Kansas City barbecue is a little too sweet for me, in my opinion.
For my money, the best barbecue ever is Hard Eight in Dallas, Texas. It's really
okay.
good. Hard Eight in Dallas.
Hard Eight in Dallas, Texas.
Well, anyway, we're talking about barbecue, so that means we're run out of topics
That
to
means it's
discuss.
time for lunch.
It's time for lunch,
boys.
everyone. All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you for watching, and thank you for chatting. And we're gonna be here all weekend. I don't know where you're gonna be, but we'll be right here until next Friday, waiting for you guys to come back. So that begins now. Hitting the button now. Wait, nope. That's the wrong button.